All right, so tonight's kind of thesis statement is fast food patience, which is, I think, the extent of what my mother offered to, anytime there's a divorce and, kind of people get remarried and there's step-siblings involved, I think there's always a dynamic of culture that gets crisscrossed. And I remember, maybe this is a faulty memory, but I don't know for how long it lasted. I don't think it lasted that long because I don't think my mother would have the patience for fast food for that long. But Burger King was the fast food of choice. It wasn't McDonald's, it wasn't Wendy's, it wasn't anything else. But in the evenings, my brother would have a Whopper, no pickles, and I didn't like the onions, so I would have a Whopper Junior, no onions, and the fries and the thing and whatever else. And we would come to the house, and I don't remember what my stepsister would have. And I think we would watch Three's Company in the evening, followed by MASH, but I would always just be turned off by MASH. I think because of the way the footage style was shot, it didn't look funny. And I didn't really understand why would war be funny. But anyway, so we're having Burger King on a regular basis, fairly regular early on when we moved, from one house to the other, and then they built the new house, or they kind of reconstructed it, revamped it. My mother and my stepfather revamped it, and we would have, the dinners there, go out to Burger King, pick it up with, with the boys, my stepfather, my stepbrother, and then bring it back to the house to eat. And I don't think my mother would put up with that for long enough, because that just stopped after a certain point. I feel blessed to have come from a house where, at the end of the day, at least 4 out of the 7 days were home cooked meals in the evenings, because the fast food things. I think we all know by now, if not back then, that it's just the quality of food for that price can't possibly, be good. Anybody that says, well, I'm just hungry. Okay, well, you're hungry. I get it. So you want the hunger on the caloric level to try to satiate it, but maybe hunger is involved in two things: calories and nutrition, in terms of vitamins, minerals, and all the other things that we would need. So you might be calorically satisfied, but your body's still wanting something else, which is maybe why you're going to go out and want to eat something, but you don't quite know what it is. So of course you're going to go back to the fast food or back to the whatever it is that you have. And and don't get me wrong, fast food is great. Taco Bell, I stopped. The last Taco Bell I had, I think, was 2009. It's questionable as to what quality In-N-Out is, and I get it. I don't know what they put in the burger, but the line is always just ridiculous. But at the end of the day, you're talking about a double In-N-Out with a vanilla shake, with the fries. I don't think I'm wrong. It's like 14-something hundred calories. To what level of high nutrition are those 1,400 calories? And the same thing goes, in the 80s with Burger King or any other fast food, where I think my mother held out for as long as she could in terms of the convenience factor, which everybody always says, well, it's easier. All right, well, good for you, it's easier. Or we can't afford healthier food. All right, well, you can't afford healthier food in the now. What do you think is going to happen later on in terms of your health, in terms of heart disease, in terms of obesity, in terms of all the complications that occur from a lifestyle of just health, just fast food? And who incurs those costs? Is it you? Right? To what extent are those costs incurred? It's almost, is the burden later on, decades later, because it creeps up on you slowly, placed on the rest of us within that same insurance pool, health insurance pool, to supplement the costs of somebody getting better or healthier, or just maybe even just reacting to whatever devastating health ramifications they have 20, 30 years later from that type of lifestyle. And, I believe in freedoms and all that kind of stuff. Do whatever the fuck you want. But it always fascinates me about the do whatever the fuck you want. Everybody likes that attitude. Hey, I just want to do whatever I want, unless, except for, everybody should do whatever they want except when it hurts somebody. All right, well, when do we draw those lines? At what point in time does the convenience and the economics of fast food in the short term, I mean, because it is just convenience and economics in the immediate present moment. I'm not sure. I don't know the actuarial tables. I'm not an economist or anything like that. But I can't imagine the cost savings of 10 to 20 years of fast food consumption. What is the health ramifications and those costs 10 to 20 years later? And who incurs those costs? Right? To what extent are those costs spread across people within a certain insurance pool? And I'm guilty of this too. I was a smoker for many, many years, and it always blew my mind, especially in the workplace. How the fuck am I insured in the same pool as a 2 to 3 pack a day smoker in my 20s, insured in the same pool as the guy that's going to the gym 3-4 times a week? Because with car insurance, I don't think it works that way. And I don't know actuarial tables. If somebody wants to explain it to me, fucking fantastic. Explain it to me. I just don't even get it. But much in the same way that I don't want to be in an auto insurance pool with some 17-year-old kid that just got a cherry red Corvette that likes to go 90 and a 55. I don't want to be in that pool. That guy's fucking crazy. I don't want to be around that. I want to be around normal, freaking tame, sensible drivers. And that keeps my insurance costs low. And it fascinates me the diversity factor demographic-wise, on a health demographic-wise, within the workplace. And how's everybody within the same pool? I don't understand why. I mean, gyms would have, I think, enough of a membership base to provide some sort of reduced or insurance pool based upon your frequency that you go to the gym. That's all recorded. That's all tallied. That's all on record. I don't know. I'm not an economist. I'm not an insurer. I don't work in any field that is remotely like that. But much in the same way as the fast food patients, it's just like, how long, how many years you're going to go with the 40-ounce Diet Coke and the triple decker Whopper or whatever they have nowadays, and it tastes so good. Yeah, of course it tastes good. There's fucking crazy people engineering this shit so you'd fall for it. And I fall for the same shit. I got my own thing. I mean, I love the gummy candy, and that's the most ridiculous insanity ever. I did a YouTube thing about me consuming literally a bag of Scandinavian Swimmers from Trader Joe's within a half hour. I mean, that has zero, well, not zero nutritional, but I mean, like, besides like just a ridiculous amount of sugar, a ridiculous amount of carbs, what else does it have? So I don't get it. I do feel blessed, honestly, that home cooked meals were available for the majority of the week. And I think the other times, I guess we went to Benihana or some kind of similar thing where hibachi places where they're just like doing stunt work with that thing. But it just, I don't get it. Somebody wants to comment on this and explain to me, why is health insurance not handled in the same way that other insurance principles are in terms of high risk, low risk? Aren't I, as a 2-3 pack a day smoker, a higher risk technically? Now, granted, I mean, there's people that smoke 2-3 packs a day, go through a fifth of gin, cigars, whatever, go, I don't know, whoring, gambling, and all that stuff, live to be 90, right? No problem. Somebody, some athlete guy in their 30s breathes wrong and they get cancer. And maybe what's not being talked about on an added level into the health ramifications is what constitution is. I mean, everybody probably has a different constitution. I think that's why some people, one aneurysm and they get just zapped and they're done and they're dead. Other people survive 2 aneurysms, a staph infection in the brain, God bless them, and then they still just keep going. And mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. I knew in my 20s I had to get something going, or else I would just, something bad would happen in my 30s. And thankfully, you know, things change or try to change. But yeah, the fast food stuff, starting at a young age, 9, 10 years old, and then you persisted and you keep it, and you get the little toys, and you go to McDonald's and you hang out there all day or whatever it is, and then you eat the fries and the fat and the sugar and the you know, I mean, what else do we need? I mean, we need fat, sugar, and salt. And then we're just like, oh, that's just awesome. But there's no nutritional value, you know, in that, aside from the sugar that gives you the energy, the salt, which is the sodium, which your body needs. I think, you know, the same reason why we need electrolytes. We can't just lose all our sodium or else we're really fucked. But to that end, you know, you don't need that much salt. But people love the salt, people love the sugar, people love the fat. We all know this. I mean, what do we want like a salty, semi-sweet stick of butter and deep fry that shit, and people will go nuts over it. I think they have it like. I don't get, though. I mean, is it that we just buy into it? At least I know that I'm fucking myself up when I go to get a bag of Scandinavian Swimmers, or about to just kill a half a gallon of ice cream, or go through chips and salsa like it's no tomorrow. But I definitely suffer tomorrow. So there is tomorrow. And the check gets cashed at some point. And whether or not it's paid directly or it's paid indirectly, somebody pays. So, you know, I value that I had those home-cooked meals. So, you know, thanks, Mom. Awesome cooking job. And, you know, you know, I don't know, how much time does it actually save? How much time, how much money? And look, and I'm granting, like, some people have, you know, 2 jobs and then fine. All right, look, I mean, I'm not judging or anything like that. I'm just saying, I mean, my mother was a workaholic. Stepfather just also worked. You know, just, they still managed to make that time, or she managed to make that time to make those dinners. I don't know. I think the convenience factor, at what point is the cost of the convenience factor, what are you saving, 15, 20 minutes? A half hour? So a half hour, let's say, and maybe a bunch of bucks, let's say $5 a piece, maybe what, $6? I don't know. And I'm sure it adds up. But if the question is 20 years later, what is it going to cost? But I guess it doesn't matter, because if the costs are, you know, paid by others, whether it's the government, which is taxpayer funded, or whether it is through an insuring pool, which is funded by the pool of insured, whether they use the doctor or not, or I don't know, advertising, I guess. Maybe should people like third party finance this shit? I don't know. But I'm thankful for having home-cooked meals. As much as I enjoyed the fast food, you know, it is, when you step away from it for a substantial amount of time and then you eat it again, don't be surprised if your stomach is fucked for the next day. And there's the indicator, isn't it? But then, you know, you get used to it, and then gets normalized, and that's what it is. Same thing with smoking. Smoking, like, you got to work hard to be a smoker, right? Fucking disgusting. And you got to work at it to just make your body just not reject the fucking insanity of it. Well, that was a tirade, and thank you for listening. And, you know, just marginalize your fast food. Maybe limit it to the weekends, or, you know, every other weekend is a gummy bear. You know, limit your cheat days to not 4 out of the 7, but maybe 2 out of the 7, or 1 out of 7 days a week. Thanks for listening.